Hi, let's talk about growth mindset. You will love it, guys. Firstly, let's separate two types of thinking: fixed and growth. Fixed, it means how we do it on daily basis, as we did it before, as our parents did, and all people around do. And growth mindset is very different. Growth mindset, it means you spend small amount of energy and you get incredible results. So also all your thoughts is usually mainly for all people in the world, thoughts are on fixed, like limited, fixed mindset. But still some people focus on growth mindset, and I will show you some examples so it will be very easy for you to understand. Best growth hacker that I ever know is of course Elon Musk. Can you imagine how he does the business? He provide you a like Cybertruck. He built one example, said if you would like to buy this Jeep, pay now and get the Jeep after 2-3 years. So people pays lots of money. He gets lots of payment in advance, and then he goes to investors and said, "Hey guys, look, so many people paid before for the Jeep. Can you imagine how many people buy when Jeep will be ready?" And investors can provide him lots of money. So when you every day solve your tasks, you can do it as you did before, or you can focus on growth thinking, growth mindset. So I will show you some examples so it will be very understandable for you. So Dropbox. If you see, Dropbox at that point did huge jump, and this jump was like it was huge shift, and you see that Dropbox did small changes in the product, small changes that provide him growth for years, and you see the results. So of course it was friend recommendation. If you recommend your friend, you will get more disk space. What is important? They didn't ever pay money, they paid with the product. So they use affiliate network but pay with product. So they didn't ever spend money for getting new customers. And of course, they provide space only if customer is active, if new customers are activated. So can you imagine? They do not spend money for marketing and they get incredible results. Okay, Hotmail. Can you imagine? They just made small different and produce huge growth. And then later were acquired by Microsoft. Can you imagine? What is the cheapest change they can ever make? Of course, it's mail, and they know people address book. And when every time when somebody using Hotmail write to his friends, they just put at the bottom, "This mail sent with free mailbox from Hotmail." Can you imagine? Just simple row at the end of the message. And now, of course, now everybody use it. I don't know, Android, iPhone. Earlier people can ever change the signature, but it's not so important for them. They just keep a regular signature, and this provide growth, as you see, incredible growth. And you see, in a half a year they grow like about 10 times without spending money to marketing. They use head, but not money on marketing. And by the way, it's totally free. No single euro spent. Let's talk about Airbnb. They also did big shift. And what happened? By the way, if you know, Airbnb gets lots of traffic, but they're able to convert customers. So they saw that people visit rental objects, but they do not order. So what they did? They analyze why people look at objects but do not rent them. And they understood that some objects are rented more often. And they understood that people need good pictures. But it was 2010. And in 2010, as you remember, people use like these 1, 2, 3 megapixels pictures with backlight and blah, blah, blah. And they start investing money on making pictures for their rental objects. Of course, when people see nice pictures, they trust, they buy, and they increase conversions a lot. They didn't invest in marketing. They invest in object pictures. It means that at that moment, it was more important than everything else. And you see, conversions was incredible. If you see, they grow more than 10 times just in a year. Just with a single idea that they do not need to invest more in marketing, but they need to invest in quality. And not in quality, but just in object pictures. But about Airbnb, we will talk later. I will provide you more examples. Of course, you also get examples with YouTube, with LinkedIn, PayPal, and Evernote. I will share them in next videos. And also I will share more examples in all growth hacking and related videos. You will get more examples like this. So see you in the next video, guys.